All right. We were discussing festive season. Well, the festival of cricket never went our way. People may be going on offs, people may be going on all these things, but no grudge against them. It's after all, people must take it. But cricket, forever.
It never stops. Cricket action never stops.
And for sports journalists, we signed two things up. One, weekends will never be off. Second, when it's Christmas time, the next day after that, the Boxing Day test match. It'll be upon us ever since 2013.
Also, we sign up for the love for the game would never.
But what about our workload management, Siddharth?
Yeah,
our workload management. What happened?
We must join the BCCI. They give the best offs for any player. They don't look at rank. They don't look at seniority. You want chutti? Take chutti.
No, we also are covering every format. So we also need a break. We are all format.
You can just check out India Today. Saransh and all of us produced a year ender, and trust you me, the amount of cricket content that was there, a 10.5 minute package for cricket. Man, oh man. I mean, cricket has been so much, and it is ending, by the way, in 2023 with a blockbuster test match. Centurion. The Boxing Day test, India versus South Africa, followed by the New Year's test. 3rd to 7th, India versus South Africa at Cape Town. But Rahul Dravid gave a PC, and you can check out the video that I have done, that Rahul Dravid stated one major thing. If you want to win in South Africa, avoid cluster collapses in one session. 2017, you remember, the series could very well have been won by India 2-1 had it not been for that one cluster collapse in Cape Town. Or in Centurion.
Cluster collapse could take you to a loss in any situation, I think, in any condition.
But it has happened more in South Africa. You don't look at it in England that much. You don't look at Australia that much. When Australia cluster collapse happened, 36 all out, we lost the match. But after that, we didn't lose.
I think it happens mostly with India only because as we can see, we were in a position in World Test Championship final as well. But head stayed for 1.5 days. Indian bowlers were clueless for taking Travis Head's wicket, and I think Dravid's right. It happens mostly with India, and we end up losing the test match. Or
what else did he say on World Cup and
World Cup? Look. Dravid is a very pragmatic guy. He said, "See, you can't compare a test series if they win here to a World Cup loss. That World Cup loss is a World Cup loss.
Nothing compared.
You have to live with it. But then the Indian fan base might struggle to move on. But he says the players have moved on. The players have moved on because they have got a job to do."
As a head coach, you will always say players are positive, they have moved on, but it depends on a individual. I don't think they have moved on, and they will not move on for a very long time.
See, when 19th November happened at about 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m., our souls got drained. That's it. You had built up a level of excitement, and India had given you so much hope. 10 wins as if the other team was just there as an exhibition show.
So much so that we couldn't even react to what has happened. For a couple of hours, beyond after that final till the next morning. It was only the next morning it struck you. Oh shit.
Which hit you.
World Cup is done and we have lost the final.
It is like, okay.
Because we were in that loop.
It's like a boxing thing. For 3 rounds, for 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 55 seconds, you're dominated. One TKO. That's it. That's how the feeling is.
That was a really bad day.
So, the question is, with this team that is there, straight out of a World Cup loss, unfortunately, and all these kind of things, do you think, gentlemen, this is the best chance for this Indian cricket team? Remember, right from the era of Tendulkar, Azharuddin, Ganguly, Dravid, Kohli, Rohit, even now, we have never won a test series in South Africa. Is this India's best chance? But considering it's a 2-test series, it's a fine edge. Can India break the jinx and conquer the final frontier this time around?
I wouldn't say that this is you have an opportunity to win the test series in South Africa, definitely, because your team is exceptionally well, has been doing well in overseas conditions, but I don't think this is the best chance. I remember last time you went, you had a much better opportunity there. This time, you don't have, firstly, a very big reason for why I'm saying it's not the biggest chance to win a series in South. You might end up winning the series. I'm not ruling that out at all. I'd even say that India is starting off as favourites, heading into the series. But overall, generally, if comparing it to the previous time, it's not better. It's not a better opportunity than that time because firstly, Mohammad Shami, the key fast bowler who has been in top form, and tandem of Bumrah and Shami will be missing. Mukesh Kumar would be starting. Siraj, and you will go with three fast bowlers. So that is something. Plus, I feel the atmosphere at this point in the Indian team is not on such a high that it could affect a little bit in the Test series also.
He says Shami's absence may possibly dent it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think this is the best chance. Because looking at the South African attack, they are missing their lead pace bowlers, and in this Indian team are going full strength apart from Shami. No, so I think they have the best chance. But as Siddharth pointed out, only 2 Test matches. It could end either way. As the World Cup final, a pitch, you thought it will fare us, but it ended on the other side. Same as 2 tests. You just have only 2 tests. So, just as I was saying yesterday, what if the first test is drawn and in the second test you are close? You might end up losing it. So, as much as this 2 test thing it works in your favor, or you think it will work in your favor, it could end the other way. And then again, I remember, with the last Test series, India played in South Africa. We won in Cape Town.
No, we won in Centurion.
Centurion, lost in Johannesburg.
Yeah, and lost in Cape Town.
In that Test match too, we were very close to winning, but we lost. Elgar stayed, Bavuma stayed. This time, with your pace attack and these wickets, losing wickets in cluster, South Africa is not full strength.
Yep.
If you can beat them now, this is your best chance.
What you said, I just want to pick one thing out of that, is that you are saying that this is the best chance because they have a weak side, or because we are exceptionally well at doing well at this time?
Two things. I'll add to what his point is. See, last time, very surprisingly, your bowlers let you down. It wasn't the batters. Dravid pointed in a press conference that in the third innings of both Johannesburg and Cape Town, we didn't get 300 plus. Had we gotten that, we could have won the series as well. But here, your bowlers couldn't defend 250 plus in both Johannesburg and Cape Town, which was very surprising. Because you had Bumrah, you had Ashwin, you had Shami, you had all the others. The same team is there in this 2023 series, barring a Siraj. Yes, Shami. Barring Shami. You've got a Thakur. Thakur took 11 wickets in Johannesburg. And he stated it's a very difficult country to bowl to because we don't know how the pitches will be. Centurion, by the way, there's another fine edge to it. There is rain predicted. 2 days. So you're essentially reduced to an 8-day Test series, wherein India has to win the series. Because broader World Championship also, World Test Championship, there are recriminations. You've only gotten 16 points from the West Indies series because 1 test ended in a draw, rain. Now, if you don't win in South Africa, your next assignment is a 5-test series in Australia. That's your away assignment in this WTC cycle.
Before that, you're playing home series.
Home series is never a problem for India,
Never
I think.
a problem.
Winning abroad,
big issue.
They have now they have won in Australia, England. They've drawn England 2-2. But South Africa has always been that country where you never won.
Very strange.
You're calling it final frontier. And
it definitely
as
is.
Siddharth pointed out, I remember, last series, there are a couple of drop catches as well that costed India. One I remember, Pujara dropped in a slip, I think, of Elgar's.
Elgar and Keegan Peterson also, I think, was dropped.
So, those crucial moments can, help you win a test match. And, when you drop these catches. So, what extra could bowler do? If bowlers are letting you down, so much so as your fielders.
See, bowling and batting wise, if you look at it, bowlers have always helped in South Africa. I mean, India, if you look at it, 4 tests they played in 1992-93, the bowlers were good. The 1 test where they lost, their batters let you down. Same in 96. How can you win a test match in 1996 when you had scores of 100, 66 and 144? It's impossible. You can't win. Same in 2001. One epic session of collapse. Dravid will know that in Port Elizabeth. I mean, if you look at it, Bloemfontein all out for under 250. They somehow held on in Port Elizabeth. Port Elizabeth, remember, the scandal happened. The ball tampering scandal happened there. Then again, 2006, you lost in Durban and Cape Town. You couldn't defend 240 in Cape Town. So bowlers sometimes, if you look at it, 3 tests, 2 in 2021 and 22, 2017 also. Your bowlers let you down, surprisingly, in these last 3 tests.
Last time I remember you weren't even fully prepared for going ahead in the series. This time, do you think are we fully prepared for the series going ahead?
See, you played the T20Is and the ODIs, okay? Different team.
But whole different.
I mean, yeah, see, you got a Bumrah coming back. You've got a Jaddu who played in the T20Is, he's there. It'll be a toss-up between Jadeja and Ashwin. You are not playing Centurion with 3 pacers and 2 spinners.
No, you'll have the 3 pacers plus Shardul and Jadeja.
Jaddu. So that's what. That'll be your 4 or 5-pronged bowling attack. But preparation, see, even the best of preparations has often come very thin. 2006, you played the ODIs first and then you played the tests. You lost the ODIs 4-0 and you lost the tests 1-2. You're not playing a warm-up game, you're playing an intra-squad game. Okay, now how effective that is, I don't know. Now you can't play all those warm-up games, there's no time. Only
you could have played a warm-up game.
But how? Even I want to ask, what is this with this Indian team and no practice games?
See, they seem to be very reticent about it. You remember World Test Championship also. They played an intra-squad game. To get used to, okay, but I can understand that time an intra-squad game because of the COVID restrictions there, no county was ready, okay. But wherever you go, Australia, they think that, okay, what's happening with Pakistan now? Oh, if you play a warm-up game, we'll not get the best of the pitch, we'll not get the best of the bowlers. What is the point in having a warm-up game in just accumulating numbers, going in with a false sense of confidence and then losing that test match? For Pakistan, they are in a catch-22. Look at what happened. Prime Minister's 11, they played in Canberra. You saw Shan Masood scoring centuries. What happened in Perth?
Double centuries.
What happened in Perth? 360 runs they lost by. Now, tail tucked between their legs, they want to have a 2-day game in Victoria. Where? Junction Oval. Which is like you are wanting to play at the Firoz Shah Kotla by practicing at CK Play Station. That is how different the conditions and outfield is. That's how bad it is. So nowadays, even I think because of workload management, like you pointed out at the start of the show, workload management and all that, you have to ensure that you don't play much. Ironically, in order to play more, you don't play much in the between gap. You don't want to get injured. That Leicestershire game, Leicestershire game that you played.
Who got injured during the Leicestershire game?
This guy, Rohit got COVID.
Yeah.
And Bumrah had to lead. But did you get any kind of a thing as to, did that give you any indication? Yet you lost in Edgbaston. So, warm-up games nowadays, you want to either satisfy the counties or you want to satisfy the clubs, you play. Otherwise, you just don't play about it.
No, but I don't think so. I do agree with you that, yeah, at times you are fully prepared and you go into a series and the result might not come your way. But don't you think as a team, our job is to put in our work. Results will follow. Don't you think that going into such a series, you should have played at least one warm-up game?
I can understand the criticism because I remember either it was in 2017 or something, I don't remember. At that time, India was so slated to play a game in Benoni, but they didn't play last moment. And I think Sunil Gavaskar criticized the approach like, oh, you didn't get a warm-up game, that's why you lost 2 games. Remember, you lost both Cape Town and Centurion in 3 days. Centurion was a close-knit affair, but Cape Town, you squandered a winning advantage in Cape Town. So that is why I think Sunil Gavaskar at that time criticized there is just no planning. And I think now post-COVID with all these workload management and everything, I don't think they are going to
But still feel these practice games are much more helpful than playing intra-squad. Intra-squad is just like I'm playing against him, he's playing against me, we know each other, weaknesses and strengths, so we are playing. We're just enjoying. But when you play a warm-up game against maybe a president's 11 or board 11 or whatever, you acclimatize with the conditions. So also you get to know the, you even if you have some surprise factors, say, but you get to know the players as well.
I blame even the counties and the PM
No,
boards
but
level for that also. Why? I'll tell you, they don't give their full strength players.
No, I'm not ready to buy this at all that you're comparing the Pakistan cricket board with the BCCI by saying that Pakistan, no, I cannot believe this, that if India would have wanted to play a practice game, any county would have said no.
They don't want to.
Yeah,
I'll
they
tell you
don't
why.
want to.
No, not the BCCI. The counties don't want to. I'll tell you why.
They wanted to play. India did not. India have gone for the series. India is doing a favor by playing the series firstly.
Did Leicestershire field their full 11?
No, this is South Africa. That is a different.
South Africa is a different case. I'll tell you why. Okay. New Zealand. Okay, the main thing I say this so intra-squad games is ridiculous. New Zealand played 2 tests against England.
Yeah.
Before preparing for the WTC final, they were already acclimatized. And India, let me tell you, Sena country's first test always been an epic struggle for them.
And
First test.
the most successful players, what we have seen and what they have quite again and again, what they say is that follow the process. Test cricket is the most basic nature of cricket. It's the base of the whole cricket thing. There is where I think that the process is very important, and then if you're not following that, then it's not. Again, coming back to what you said, that at times it might not help you, but that doesn't mean that you will not do it. Are you trying to understand what I'm saying? That it's not important. If you would have gone in, and I'm workload management for whom? Rohit, Virat haven't played since a month. Shreyas Iyer left the team after the first ODI itself to play this intra-squad game. Bumrah not been in the white ball scheme of things, did not play the Australia tour. If this, for either say that this is not that big a deal for us. Otherwise, when you're going in, and this has been something that has been following since a very long time. This is not the first time you're going to South Africa and not playing any kind of a warm-up game or anything. And Virat firstly hasn't played the intra-squad game. When once you go to a country, Ashwin again, the video you did today, Ashwin again has said that when you go to South Africa, it's very important to play warm-up games and practice games, because you can set your line and length, you don't know the line and length. All these things, again, each player has his own thing. Maybe some player doesn't need that sort of a practice, but maybe someone like an Ashwin does.
So again, see, it's a decision that the board and everybody have taken, that okay, we are not going to give that much impetus to warm-up games. There is no... When was the last proper warm-up game that you saw between an Indian team and a potential state level side?
I remember that after this last South Africa series itself, when you lost, there was a lot of criticism because of this reason only, that you did not play any warm-up games. Then you went to England, if I'm not wrong.
In 18, yeah, you did.
Yeah. Then you went to England, then you played a warm-up game where I think they even had the ground open for all the fans and everything.
Fine, but then see, the quality of opposition that is there, unfortunately, now they don't want to show their main strengths before a start of a major series.
But also, if you're calling this a final frontier, then you have beaten England, you have beaten Australia. South Africa still remains your... so I think you should take it all the more seriously. All the more reasons you have to take it seriously, and that this time we'll do it. You are coming back from a World Cup loss. This is the time, then you could give your fans a bit of relief. I'm not saying there will be, but it will a bit of relief that you have finally conquered the South Africa as well. So I think there's no harm in playing a warm-up game before the test match.
Well, that's the call that the BCCI will have to take. I mean, see, they are having a very, okay, our players are important, we want to rest them, manage them. 1 month break, not enough.
Oh, what if on a Tuesday morning you find your batter struggling?
Exactly.
That's the risk you're
Day
taking.
one, fresh day, test match morning, and then...
Virat Kohli was here on December 15th in South Africa.
Yeah.
He didn't play the 2 ODIs on 17th and the 21st. So he didn't play the ODIs at all.
White ball break, but...
Even Rohit was there by the 16th.
But if the BCCI has to be believed, they had a good session, 3 to 4 sessions. And then he went on the break. And then he's back for the test match. He's already back in South Africa. He's going to practice tomorrow as well. And remember, the LC De Villiers Oval, which is there, okay, Shikhar Dhawan hit a 248 in that same oval about 10 years ago. But unfortunately...
No. This is if this is the final frontier, for example, Saran sir has to make a show. If it's a regular show, he'll just follow the routine. If Saran sir, you have to make a bigger show, if for say year-ender, you'll be working extra hard on that, na? You'll not be working the same loop for that also. Or will you be doing the same loop for that also? If you're calling it the first final frontier, last time I remember you lost and you said that the BCCI did not plan the stuff properly. We did not have time. This time you had more than enough time.
Which is why I'm saying, maybe the players are that confident enough that I can do it on loop. It doesn't take, I'm not a beginner. Condition I'm saying, I played in the past year before. Kohli, remember, this will be his third test in Centurion. Second test in
fourth tour in South Africa or third tour in South Africa?
This is fourth tour.
His fourth tour, right?
But fifth overall when you look at even the ODI series. He was there even in 2010 and 11, Virat Kohli, where we lost the series 2-3. Yusuf Pathan hit a brilliant 100 there, but we lost that. Kohli 2013, he hit a 119 and 96 in Johannesburg. 17, he hit a brilliant century in Centurion. 21-22, he missed that Johannesburg match with that back spasm, which changed the entire course of the series. So, before we take some comments now, what is your thing? Is India winning
Yeah,
this?
I also have one more question. I have. You know, this time you will be without a Pujara or a Rahane. You'll be
Without a Shami
Jaiswal,
also.
Gill, Shreyas Iyer at number 5. Do you think they'll step up? Look, experience. I'm not defending. I'm not saying that you play a Pujara, play Rahane, but in foreign conditions, these two batsmen have given you a lot every time. This is the first time. No Pujara, no Rahane.
Yep.
Do you think this gentleman in Shreyas Iyer and Shubman Gill and Yashasvi will step up and take that responsibility and act?
Shreyas Iyer has been to South Africa the last time.
Yeah, he was there. See, Yashasvi has got South Africa experience, 2020 World Cup, Under 19 he was there.
Totally different ball game.
But he's shown he can do it.
Yeah, he definitely
Yashasvi
can.
has got the technique to do it. Rohit will be there. Then you got Shubman who is there. This will be Shubman's second tour, if I'm not mistaken.
And you haven't seen Shubman Gill as a settled batter at number 3. He hasn't played that much at number 3 as of now.
Look, after the flood of the first half of 2023, the next half of 2023 has been a drought for Shubman Gill. Pressure is on Shubman Gill. The prince, who's the next in line to take Indian cricket forward, is actually finding it a bit difficult. See, Rohit, Virat are there. Okay, no Pujara, no Rahane. I agree. Rahane in these particular wickets has always excelled. In South Africa, Pujara, he's taken blows, but I think in 21 was he there? Yes, 21 he was there, but that was the start of his decline. Now
there was a talk when he was called back for WTC final ki this is the only test we play before the World Cup and everything, and the next assignment is South Africa.
Yeah.
So Rahane should stay till South Africa.
correct.
But you played WTC, you lost. Maybe if you have won the WTC, that would be a different matter altogether. But now you have lost the WTC and Rahane is off the chart.
I think that's it. You're looking beyond them, and anyway, they had to be looked beyond because see.
I'm just asking, will these young guys be able to step up and
they can. I
perform?
think they definitely will.
They will. Unless Shreyas doesn't come up with that short ball problem. I just hope. Because see, Shreyas is a bit of an anomaly. He does well in India. I think he kind of struggles overseas. Kind of. I mean, we haven't gotten that much of
sample size.
Yeah, too small a sample size. But I think KL Rahul is there. I think he was the difference maker in South Africa last time. But both for the right reasons and the wrong reasons. His right thing was he hit a century in Centurion that won them the match. But then the next two, his captaincy.
Was that KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya conundrum that happened in the coffee with Karan thing was somewhere near
prior to New Zealand.
Wasn't that somewhere near the South Africa tour?
No. It was prior to the New Zealand tour of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the situation. So do you think India can win in South Africa? Final frontier can be conquered?
Yeah.
This time, I think. Yeah, it can be.
Well, for rain, I think.
But I'm not saying that it's the best opportunity. They can win it, but it's not the best opportunity ever.
With rain,
when your opposition is weak, that's the best time to attack. So I think this will be the chance. And if touch wood, if this time they also didn't win, then I don't think in near future.
But I have a different point of view to this. That I don't think that the Indian team should play to their weaknesses. They should be playing at their strengths. You played to other weaknesses in the World Cup.
They're already playing at their strengths. They are full strength team, barring Shami. But South Africa is not that
last time
strong.
You got a Elgar, you got a Keegan Peterson who did well against India last time around. You got a bowling attack which is looking weak. I'll tell you why. Rabada Ngidi have not been informed. You got a Katseya who's only 2 tests old. What do you do? And Marco Jansen, is he the same Marco Jansen of 21-22? I don't think so. He was a leading wicket taker with 20 wickets. I don't think he's that same, and I think the performances in the World Cup didn't inspire that much of confidence. But you got a good show in Maharaj. Keshav Maharaj is a good
He could be tricky.
Yeah, he will be tricky. So that's why South Africa have got problems. That is why I think India should I think conquer the final frontier this time around. But I think it will be a 1-0 thing. I think Centurion will see no result.
No, even if you have 3 days, I think you might.
No, difficult. Unless, of course, even the previous time Centurion was rain impacted, maybe. So let's see. Let's take some comments. Shivam, Sawal.
Puneet is saying, hey guys, who do you prefer as your third seamer, Mukesh or Prasidh, and why?
I would prefer Mukesh. Good on form.
Reasons?
Good on form. Can bowl quickly. Can be your workhorse. Can bowl sustained spells. Prasidh might be inconsistent. So that is why I think Mukesh, you given a good run in test. He did well in the tests against West Indies.
West Indies.
I think I'll go with Mukesh.
I'd still go with Prasidh because I think he's the one person your team has been continuously backing since a very long time. He's ahead of Mukesh in that order of picking up the bowler first, and plus I think he's really highly rated. He will give that height. He would release the ball from that height. He's a different. He will add a new dimension to the bowling lineup with Bumrah and Siraj.
Because you've got a Siraj who's tall, can hit the deck, and also can swing. With Prasidh, it's the same skill set.
I think he'll get a little nippy. He could seam the ball a little bit. So I'd still Mukesh, nothing to take away from him. Lots of talent, really talented bowler, but still Prasidh. I'd go with Prasidh.
Okay. Once Jain, they were chasing 220 in third test, not 250 plus. Okay, fine, agreed. Once Jain 220, but it was a total that your Indian bowlers couldn't defend at this point in time. So, okay, then
King is saying how on earth Sri Lanka managed to win a test series in South Africa 2 years beyond understanding.
Yeah, I mean, see, but they won the one test by 1 wicket, and Kusal Perera played an out of the world knock. 76 run partnership, 1 coat of varnish on Ostrom, and Vishwa Fernando would have been bowled by Dale Steyn. But South Africa also didn't help themselves by just giving away 300 plus runs in Durban. And Port Elizabeth was a shocker. I don't know how that happened. And
South Africa can be unpredictable.
can be unpredictable. Then Green Arrow is sitting. Why Green Arrow? Mark my words, if Hardik is your captain for World Cup, then India will not even qualify for the league stage. Has Hardik become the most valuable member of the team?
I think India's already. India don't have to qualify for the upcoming World Cup. They're already there, and I think as seen by his franchise, he is not most valuable player, but he's up there. You know, because there's no other fast bowling all-arounder. You haven't Shardul didn't perform with the bat in most of the occasions. You haven't groomed a Venkatesh Iyer who played a World Cup in 2021. So you have to look back on Hardik. If he's fit, half fit, not fit, only Hardik is
The
there.
test, so he has himself said, "Nah, I won't be playing."
No, for test, he is asking for World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah.
Hardik will not be leading, but as a player, India will always bank
They
on
would
him.
want Hardik the player, but then as a captaincy, he is already getting, unfortunately, a lot of hate. I don't know why. So, well, that's a different debate altogether. So, once Jain is saying this is their last tour, if they don't win, they would never have won an SA in England. Yeah, I think so. This could be Rohit and Virat's last tour to South Africa.
definitely.
I don't think it's happening. Won't Mukesh and Shardul be somewhat different? That's what Puneet Handu was saying. Well, I think so. It's kind of similar. But again, with Prasidh and okay, the one thing going with Prasidh is he took a hat trick in that India A game. Against South
Also
Africa.
picked 5 wickets.
5 wickets also. Yes. Last question from Naval Singh we'll take. Okay. Which youngster's performance is important for India to win the series? My pick is Shreyas, as many people don't rate him in Sena countries.
Interesting.
But Shreyas is hardly a youngster. I would say the performance, I mean, the one who lay the foundations, Yashasvi Jaiswal, if he's picked.
He
Jaiswal
too
will
is
be the
definitely being picked, but I think Shubman Gill is the person whom I would pick, whose performance, I'm not picking him as the best performer, but I think his role is going to be the most crucial one because he's that bridge between the openers and the middle order. So he has a very, very important role to play out there.
Yep.
I would like to see, Yashasvi perform after the West Indies tour. If you have to cement your place, you opening along Rohit Sharma in test matches, you'll have to perform big time.
Yep, you have to. So that's why we are building up for India versus South Africa, which is going to be 2 tests of very high importance. One, I know Dravid will say no, World Cup win, that World Cup loss is a World Cup loss. This kind of, I think it will ease off a bit of the pain. But yep, tomorrow we'll be building up there's a press conference also tomorrow.
And day after the action begins.
Day after it is the Centurion test between
And
India and
Christmas Eve tomorrow.
That's Boxing Day. Today's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas. Day after tomorrow's Boxing Day. Okay.
Didn't come to know in all the action pack.
Yep. So from me, Saransh and Shashwat, it's bye-bye. We'll be back with a lot more content heading into the Centurion test. Bye-bye.